It's the Rooster in High School Central. I have to whisper. Okay, I gotta whisper because there's a lot of big high school people here. All right.
Hey, I can't believe, Tone, that they let us in this place.
I know. That's why I'm whispering. Shh.
It's like being in the library.
I'll tell you. Say hello, Steph. That's Steph.
It's Stephanie, not Steph.
Oh, Stephanie, not Steph.
You guys are idiots.
Shh. Look at me, Mom. Top of the world. Top of the world, Mom.
Hey, it's the Rooster, Bobby Lees for the TimesWeekly.com, alongside my partner here, Big Tone.
Big Tone here. You're Jilly to Mr. Sinatra. You're Snowman to the Bandit. I am Big Tone, Tony Saratella, and I was at the state playoffs, championship in Champaign, Illinois. I was there. I left my mark. Rooster?
Welcome to Cheap Seats, everybody. And, hey, man, we both got a chance to go down to... Man, you know, it was like, did you guys like the intro, by the way? Because that wasn't even scripted.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of cool, though, man. I can't believe they let us into that place. We're still trying to script it.
Yeah, I know.
Why don't they let guys like us in there? We're not even wearing a suit and tie.
And I can't believe people know us. Hey, we know you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, you do? We like your stuff. You do? So somebody out there's watching, want to thank the 5 people who are out there watching. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Hey, man, it was a great, fantastic trip. As always, the IHSA, I got to say before we get into all the games and all the stats, IHSA did a great job. I mean, they always do a good job. They're always well organized. Mm-hmm. And the hospitality is just great. And we just want to give a quick thank you out to Matt Troha and all the people. I know that there's more than Matt there, but we want to thank everybody for their hospitality while we were in Champaign, and it's like that every year. I mean, they do a great job putting that together, and it's a lot to get 4 football games and then, fit them all into one day, mm-hmm. and then to get them in front of the media. It was like a parade, it was very scripted, and as far as how they finish those games and get everybody up in front of the media, and I just, it's a big undertaking, I'm sure. Guys like us do appreciate it. So, hey, quick shout out to the IHSA. Good job on it. Now back to our regular scheduled program, and yes, you can send me a check, IHSA, for that commercial break later.
Good cinnamon donuts, too. It got me through the day. I just want to let you know. Thank you for whoever bought the donuts. Thank you.
So, let's talk about our first, the first game down there. And I don't know. I mean, we didn't, to be honest, we didn't get down there until late on Friday, so we didn't see the 1A, the 2A, the 3A, and the 4A. And next year we're going to make every effort to be there for both days. Because the 1A schools, I had a hard time even pronouncing some of their names. They're so far away.
School, huh?
I mean, for the 1A championship. Forsyth beat Stockton 48-24.
Is that the one where the sophomore went crazy for 3 touchdowns?
Yeah, I mean it was a great performance for him, and so again Stockton, just one of those things where I don't really know where Stockton's at. I mean, no offense to anyone whoever's in Stockton right now and sees us on.
Do you think they can see us in Stockton?
They might.
No, we are live.
We're live. We're international.
Live.
Right. I bet you that there's somebody in Tokyo that even sees
Tokyo, huh, boy? Okay.
They may not like football, but they'll get a kick out of us too, huh?
Especially that intro. Woohoo! Yeah. Those guys are idiots.
Yeah, well, we kind of are idiots, but hey, we're educated guessers. That's, I guess, what the best example of us are. But we've seen a lot of good football. So again, Forsyth comes away with a win in the 1A. In the 2A, Belleville and in Aledo, Mercer County. I mean, that's what they're calling it, Mercer County. So I know there's not many high schools
Mercer
that have a
County.
whole county.
Is that Sheriff like Roscoe P. Coltrane down there?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know, but they won a state championship.
Well,
but the thing that I thought was interesting, looking at this stat, was that Belleville was a 15 seed playing in a state final. So that's got to tell you how competitive it is at the 2A level. When you can get a 15 seed there, what a Cinderella season they must have had.
Cinderella season.
And they took the lead. They were up 7-0 in the first quarter and ended up giving up 2 touchdowns. But that was a close game. And then you move on to the 3A school, and for 3A, Aurora Christian once again repeated as champions, and they're in the same conference as Montini. They won 42-12. It wasn't much of a game there as far as competition went. Aurora Christian well in hand there at 42-12, and then again Don Beebe's team and another team out of Montini's conference. So thought that was pretty interesting, and and then we wrapped up with 4A on Friday, and 4A. Rochester beat Rock Island. Rock Island being the 1 seed, Rochester being the 2 seed. 2 seed beats the 1 seed, and they beat them pretty handily, 43-18. So
43-18.
Yeah, I mean, so that was kind of what happened on Friday, and then we skipped over to Saturday because essentially, up here, why we called it the SW Sports Nest was we were covering kind of the southwest Chicago burbs essentially, and that morphed into this show, Cheap Seats. And we've had so many people email us and call us and ask us to come out and catch their games. So, we are kind of throwing the southwest part out the window next season, and we're just going to cover the games that we want to cover.
Yeah.
We're going to go out and pick out the games that we want to pick out.
Or you email us if you want us to come see you guys play, then email us. We'll come.
Yeah, you got to feed them first, though.
Yeah,
you got to show me. But anyway, all right, so let's move on to go ahead and say it. I was right.
Yeah.
I was right. Was that right?
Yeah, you were right.
Montini.
Okay.
And more.
Hold on one second.
Montini and Morris.
Whole season, I was right. One game, he was right. Okay, there you go.
No. That's not how it worked out.
Uh-huh.
And, like I said, Montini jumped all over. I mean, Morris, listen, I'm going to say this about Morris. Morris was an impressive football team. That was a state championship football team. I mean, they were damn good. And I don't know if we can say that on the air, but I'm saying it anyhow. They were damn good.
You said that last week. Nobody.
Yeah, but I said the G word in front of it.
Joe's.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But I got to tell you, I was very impressed with the way. First of all, kudos to the coach at Morris.
Coach Thurston.
Yeah, I mean, he did a fantastic job getting his kids ready. He was calm. He was professional. And you could see that on the sidelines. I mean, when things weren't really going right for their offense, because it was kind of funny. Morris was a little fun. I mean, they got some big runs. I mean, here, take a look at this. This was in the first quarter, and Morris has got a little bit of momentum. This is on their opening drive, and they get this big run here. Check it out. So you can see Reese Sobel, rambles for 45 yards and gives Morris a lot of momentum. I thought, man, this is going to be a game, because they ran right at an all-state defensive end in Montini over there, and they ran right past him. I mean, you could see the tackle, just kind of kicked him out. He cut up inside and hit the sidelines, and he was gone. That was a really nice run for them, and I thought, this is going to be a game. You could tell right away that they look like, that they could push Montini. We already knew that Morris had a defense, but their offense, like you said, Coach Tone, is a little streaky at times. It's very based on momentum. Yeah. And they got to get that momentum, and they had it early there, but they didn't do anything with the ball.
If you can't get your offense going within the first, second, maybe possibly the third series, forget it. You got problems.
You got to give them credit too. I mean, they go for it on fourth down. They get into deep territory. I think they do that. Hey, this is the state championship. We're going to leave it all out. And in that first quarter, they go for it. They don't get it. They turn the ball over in downs. And, here's the next play. Take a look at this play. I mean, Dimitri Taylor was sensational. I mean, absolutely sensational. Here's Dimitri Taylor's 74-yard run. This is the first play from scrimmage for the Montini offense, and this is ultimately what set the tone. Here, take a look. So you can see Dimitri Taylor, I mean, he had a big game against Joliet Catholic last year. I mean, he was kind of,
overshadowed by Mr. Isaac?
Well, he was a little overshadowed in that game, but, against Morris, they needed him. I mean, they had to rely on him. The Morris defense was sensational. I mean, yeah, they gave up that big play, but they really only gave up 2 big plays. They gave up, another pass over the middle, to Dimitri late. This was really late in the second quarter, and a 48-yarder. So goes for a touchdown. That kid, he looked like the human Slinky. I mean, Morris has got him. He catches the ball. He's open. He catches it over the middle. You got 3 guys right in front of him. He kind of goes towards them. They all stand there like, yeah, bring it on. And he darts to the right, gets down to the goal line, and he had to dive for that and, get in and somebody around his ankles, but he did just get in. It was a phenomenal run after the catch.
Yeah.
They gave them the credit and a 13-0 lead. Here, take a look at Dimitri Taylor's second touchdown of the half. So again, Dimitri Taylor, big game for him. I mean, he was the difference in that football game. Mm-hmm. My opinion, that he was the difference in that football game. It was 2 great defenses. I mean, Montini had gotten down inside the red zone, I think 3, maybe 4 times in that game, and Morris would not give up the touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, thank God, they've got the, Andrew Hardy, who's an all-state kicker. And once you get inside the red zone and you got an all-state kicker, you're pretty much assured points. But even he didn't have a great game. He did miss one wide. He tried a couple of long ones too.
He missed a 55 out of 45 yarder, which he's not in the NFL yet. Okay, so
but he also missed one wide. He missed one. He missed about a 26-yarder too. He missed 3 field goals.
Maybe
in that game.
Maybe he had no more power in his leg after that 55-yarder. That came this close.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah. But no,
phenomenal.
He had a phenomenal performance. He absolutely had a phenomenal performance, as I knew they would. I knew Montini was going to win this football game. And the reason I felt like Montini would win the football game is I knew that both defenses, or at least I said, both defenses are pretty good. The difference was going to be in the offense, and Montini has a very potent offense. And you got to give hats off to Morris, because I haven't seen anybody all season long, other than Lincoln Way East, really keep them in check. Mm-hmm. Lincoln Way East, kept them in check, and that was a close game too.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about a 7A state, finalist. And that beat them. So Montini, a very tough program. Congratulations, fellas, on your 4th. I mean,
4th is phenomenal. 4th in a row.
Yep, 4th in a row, phenomenal. And for the people out, Morris, congratulations. I think they were only like one of maybe 10 teams, 11 teams, something like that. 10 or 11 teams, I think, that Morris has had go down state. They're one of those 10 teams, and boy, did they make that town proud.
Okay, like I said. 30 teams that stood home, and you guys were, the second team in the state, so you got to be pleased.
The other thing that I liked about it, I guess any sports writer is going to like this, is they didn't quit.
No.
Fourth quarter, you're down 19-0, and quarterback Zach Cinnamon, I think I said on the sidelines, no pun intended, but I was like, man, this kid's cinnamon toast. I mean, he was getting beat up. Mm-hmm. He was getting hit. He was getting flushed from the pocket. I mean, he was really He was being punished back there by a very strong, tough Montini defense. But the thing I loved about that kid is every single time he got hit, he'd be a little wobbly.
He got up.
But he got up and he went right back out there, and he ultimately hooked up with Jeff Perry on a 33-yard pass for a touchdown. Take a look at this. A lot of this is Perry's running ability too, because he had a nice run after the catch. But again, Cinnamon's, to his credit, his persistence paid off in this touchdown. Here, take a look at this. This is at least allowing them not to leave a goose egg, at the state championship.
Yeah.
So hey man, Morris did get on the board.
Yeah, they got on the board.
Got to give it to him. Your boys did get in the end zone. I know you were aggravated the whole game because I was talking smack. I was kind of waving at you. Well, I told you so. I told you so. And I'll tell all the people out there, Morris, that Big Toe was defending you guys the whole way.
Unbelievable, this guy. This guy is unbelievable. What a glory hound, I'm telling you. First time all year he's right. And boy, he lets everybody in the world. She should have turned out a full page ad. I'm right, you're wrong. Yeah. Anyway, I was talking to Coach Thorson on the way out to the second place. Hey, second place isn't that bad. Like I said, out of 32 teams, if you're second in the state, that's not that bad. All right? I mean, okay, we're not state champions, but I want to know. I got to ask a question to everybody out there: who forgot about Saturday? Okay. Who still remembers that they're first or second place? I mean, you guys are going on with your lives, right? They're going on with their lives, right? Who remembers? All right? You get your trophy, who remembers? Right? Put your trophy on the stand, look at it and say, hey, all right, state champs, cool, right? Second place, cool, right? But anyway, I was talking to Coach Thorson, and he told me you guys were a little off. Your partner was a little off on the score. They didn't score 40.
Yeah, no, they did not score 40, and so kudos. I do have to eat a little bit of crow, or rooster as it be. Yeah. For
19-6. He goes 40 to 14.
41 to 14.
41 to 14. Yeah.
41 to 14 is what I actually picked. And
he goes, they scored 41. He kind of went, okay, maybe in another game.
You pick us every week, man. We watch you. I appreciate that.
It's all right, Coach. You guys are still a good team.
I appreciate that.
Since week one of Manuka, I think last time I seen you.
Aurora, Army and Academy. We watch all the time.
You like it? Funny?
No, we think it's good.
Yeah.
Kids love it.
Real Superintendent Dr. Patrick Haller, Principal Kelly Hussey, Athletic Director
Your partner picked us to lose by
40? We're going to lose by 40. Come on.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, credit a great Morris defense. Much more stout than I gave him credit for in that game. And hey, I know when I'm beat. I mean, Montini won that game, but Morris won my respect. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, they won my respect as a football club. Their post-game interviews, how they carried themselves off the field in defeat was. I mean, definitely. That's why they're in a state championship game, because you got to play with that kind of class, and not just with the class but the grittiness, the toughness. I mean, it's a tough football team, and I don't mean the fact is there's only one team in the state that could beat you. And I think, given another shot at Canelan, I think they were way tougher than Canelan.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw Canelan against Lincoln Way West, and I know that they had some offensive weapons and all that, yada yada. But I got to believe that you play that game 10 times and Morris is going to win 7 of those 10 against Canelan. And Canelan was a 1 seed. So bottom line is Morris had a great year. And as tough as they were, I mean, even Montini's coach, I mean, he had a lot to say about it after the game. I mean, he just talked about how tough a road it was for Montini to get to number 4. Here's what he said as he was walking to collect his state championship trophy.
To get you to this position.
This was the hardest road we've ever traveled. And for us to beat the teams that we beat, and beating Marion on the road and Joliet Catholic on the road, and then beating a great Morris team right here at the championship game, it couldn't be any sweeter.
So, I just don't know what to say. All I can tell you is that Montini got to go to the podium and get number 4. And it was a treat. Anytime as a writer you get to see one team win 4 in a row, and you were there to see at least 2 of those 4, the back-to-back years. I mean, it's definitely a memory. I had my ball out. I was having a lot of autographs signed. Yeah. Hey, Morris signed my autograph.
Coach Adriano, will you want to sign my ball, please? Mikhail Stewart, could you sign my ball?
Yeah. Well, Danny Friend signed this ball. Your Morris coach signed this ball. I mean, lots of people. Fred Bogart signed this ball. A lot of people on this football that was signed by all the teams and all the players that were down there on Saturday. And I thought it was a pretty cool thing. I mean,
so you got a black Sharpie. I don't know what the silver thing for, but
because if you look at the camera, it probably shows up better as silver. Plus, silver just looks cooler.
Oh, really? Yeah, right.
I tell you, So I mean, hey, it was a good role. You know, at least he didn't throw anything at me. You know, I mean, the Morris players were kind enough to sign it. I mean, I know that they're your pals, but
I don't get my pals. I just
got
saw
out
them twice.
You know,
I know a good team. Okay, they're a good team.
They're a good football team, and then moving on, you know, Cree-Mone and Carrie Grove, 2 top number 1 seeds, and that's how you script it, I guess. If you're a 1 seed and a 1 seed, you expect both 1 seeds to get down there. At least that's in theory how it's supposed to happen. But you know, Carrie Grove and Cree-Mone squared off, and it was a tight game. I mean, I honestly thought that Carrie Grove was going to take it to them, and we had said earlier that we thought Cree, you know, was a good football team, but I just thought Carrie Grove was going to be better, and it really wasn't the case. Cree-Mone went up on them 14-10. You know, it was 6-3. You know, you got a field goal from Carrie Grove in the first quarter, missed extra point by Crete in the first quarter. So now it's a 6-3 ball game. They get a 2-point conversion on their next touchdown, and Crete-Mone scores. So they basically swapped scores. But you know, Carrie Grove was on the short end of the stick. So now at halftime you're at 14-10, and you're thinking, hey, this is going to be a game, and it really, you know, they got blown out in the third quarter. I mean, Carrie Grove, you know, the wheels came off the wagon a little bit in that third quarter. He gave up 19 points, 3 touchdowns, and it was 19-6. They gave up, and then they gave up 10 points. Crete gave up 10 points to Carrie Grove to close the game out. But in the end, it was 33-26. It turned out to be a closer game. Carrie Grove brought it back. They were within a score. They had a shot at the end, but Crete held on, and phenomenal win for Cree-Mone.
Yep, sure is.
You know, and I mean, they took down a lot of big teams along the way too. They took down Lamont. We followed Lamont quite a bit this year too, and they took Lamont down. So congratulations to Cree-Mone on your 6A state championship. Well deserved. You beat all the teams you needed to beat. You were the 1 seed, and you finished like a 1 seed, and that's why you got a state championship to your credit. That ought to be a thrill for everybody in Crete, you know, to check that out. And then we move on to I think during that game, didn't we spend a little bit of time out, you know, at Lincoln Way East?
Yeah, the Lincoln Way East tent.
Yeah. Well, you know, we went out. We went out to the parking lot. You know, we had a little bit of a break. You know, and we were filming. We had a lot of people down there to film those games, and so Big Tone and I decided to take a stroll. You know, take a little walk around see the festivities and everything that was going on, and we got out there and we got to go to see Glenbard West. You know, we saw their tent. We saw Montini's tent. They were kind of rocking and rolling because by the time we got out there, they had just wrapped up their game, so there was a big party going on there. But, you know, we kind of, moseyed around and wanted to see everybody, and lo and behold, there's Lincoln Way East.
Make sure this gets on the show that Lincoln Way East is serving me, everybody, and Glenbard West didn't, which means that Lincoln Way East is going to win the game.
I don't think Glenbard West knows us. We ain't that far out yet, so keep talking.
So what are you going to do?
Why am I holding the camera?
Lincoln Way East is right there. What is the best stack in the night?
The Italian sausage spiced with sweet peppers and onions.
Mooyah. Okay,
Get it?
Let's check it out.
We got it sold?
As long as it isn't chicken or rooster, we're okay.
Nope, no chicken or
Let me
rooster.
have a bun. Let me warm it up.
All right.
Oh, you guys are, man.
This is great.
Give me a bun.
Where's my spice? Where's my sausage with spiced up? I was on your side. I was on your side all year. I get no sauce. Oh, man.
Are you getting all this, Coach Stone?
Yeah, unfortunately. I'm getting it. Okay.
So just remember, all you football fans at home, if we show up at your tent and you don't feed us,
yeah, right,
you're going to lose the football game.
Right.
I need Jared on here.
That's for you, brother.
There you go.
Yours is
Lucas, where's your woman?
There you go.
Rally towel.
Thank you.
For Jared.
Here you go.
What it made.
There you go. See, here's what Big Tone's gonna get.
Huh?
Yeah, see, see. Big Tone's getting his food. He's got his Lincoln Way blue on. You get the Lincoln Way blue on. There you go. How is it, Big Tone? Does it taste like rooster?
It's yummy.
It's yummy?
Yummy.
All right, it's yummy. He says it's yummy. All right. Let's come over here.
Sprinkled it with a little more Go East pride in that, okay?
There you go.
That ain't
we gotta check out the hairdo.
dog.
See, folks? Great
I got
hairdo.
this done just for the cooking of the event.
All right, how many touchdowns is Fusel going to have today?
We're thinking 3, possibly 4, depending on the win.
3 or 4. There you go. 3 or 4. Tom, what do you think?
I said it was going to be a 4-touchdown spread, so what else you want?
What's wrong with that? What's wrong?
Hey, Rooster, hey, Rooster, hey, Rooster, hey, Rooster. This guy was picking against you all year. And it's, hey, Rooster, want a sausage sandwich? Hey, Rooster, how about a cheeseburger? Hey, Rooster, hey, Rooster, hey, Rooster. Okay, that's all I got to say. I'm going to do, when we talk about Lincoln Way East, I'm going to sit like this.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Tell me when it's over.
yeah, Big Toe is going to pop a little bit, but hey, your boys, we got it. You got to kind of think about your shirt.
Well, I'll tell you, Rooster, second place is not that bad. They had a second place victory party, which was cool. They got right on the fire trucks through Montini, through Frankfurt and everything. And, like I said, like Big Tone said before, 32 teams, top 2 teams out of the state. That's not half bad. Okay, that's all I got to say about that. Please, Rooster, go on.
Well, we did say, Coach Tone, they fed you, man. You get the first. You get the first hot dog.
By the guy with the funny blue hair. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he was cool.
He knew you, didn't know me though.
I'll tell you what, man. I gotta say though, their tent was rocking. The hospitality was great.
Oh yeah, it was.
And well, honestly, the fans and everybody.
Yeah, they're okay.
They were absolutely. It was a lot of fun, and when you do this as much as we do, and as much as we've covered Lakeway East over the last couple of years, obviously you're going to build friendships and relationships, and you're going to know kids, and it was kind of fun to kind of go out there and see the parents, and we didn't get to see any of the players because obviously they were getting ready for their game, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah. He was hoping for, I don't know, he was hoping they were going to string me up or something. He's like, they're going to string you up when you get there.
Yeah.
And they were extremely cordial.
Oh, yeah, they were nice. They didn't know who I was. Like I said, the Rooster and that guy. We know who he is. It's that guy. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you something. Maybe it was an omen. For them, I don't know. I hate to say I bring bad luck to that football team, but
yeah, you do. I tell you, when you left the building and you left the field, that's when Justin Corbett scored his touchdown. That's when everything was working.
Ooh.
Everything was working.
Everything was working.
This guy you wanted to feed, you should have seen all the smack he was talking on the sidelines by me. All the smack talking about you boys at Lincoln Way East, the Griffins. The team that I put on my back and I rode with you guys like this. Remember Choo Choo Train? Woo woo!
Well, I'll tell you what. I said Glenbard West was going to be a tough defense.
Yeah, Glenbard West was nasty. Nasty, just as your defense, Lincoln Way East, was nasty too. You guys both were nasty.
Right. It was a defensive struggle. There was no question about it. But. You're talking about a game that finished 10-8. Think about it. You're in a state championship and you lost by 2 points, 10-8.
By 2 yards, too. 2 yards.
By a couple of yards. It was, I don't know. Glenbard West came out and punched them in the mouth right away.
Defensive line was outstanding for Glenbard West. Their defensive line.
Oh, their defensive line was outstanding, and their offense got it done. They got it done early. It was 10-0. Once they built a 10-0 lead, that's when Lincoln Way East was like, okay. But I got the feeling, honestly, dude, that everybody was sitting around waiting for Fusel to do something. I just got that feeling like, okay, well, any time now, Tom, you can, do your thing. But nobody else was really stepping up and filling that role that Tom Fusel. Because Fusel took a licking.
Yeah,
he took a licking, man.
He got pounded. I'm surprised he made it upstairs after the game. He got pounded.
He got pounded. I gotta say, well, like you said, Justin Corbett, phenomenal run. He had a good performance on the scoring. Forget just the fact that Corbett got his touchdown. But leading up to that, it was the whole. Corbett picked up a nice reception too. He picked up about a 20-yard gain. And put them in position. So Corbett had a nice game, and Colangelo, he had a nice game too. I mean, you don't see Colangelo rip off, 40-yard runs, but he got the hard runs that they needed. He got the hard yards in between the tackles, and they needed to loosen up that defense a little bit because they were pinning their ears back and laying one on Fusel. Every time Fusel thought about going this way, that way, the human Sleeky got pushed down the stairs.
Yeah, he did.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, he did.
He did, So, I mean, and he had a phenomenal season. There's no question about it. But in that game, there was just, there was, I don't know if it was just indecisiveness or if Glenbard, let's say that Glenbard West's defensive backs did an incredible job in coverage, not giving him many options to throw the ball. But he looked a little indecisive back there, and once he tried to do his little dipsy-do and scramble and all that kind of stuff that Tom Fusel's famous for, once he had to break away from his pattern and take off and go on his own, which is very difficult to do. I mean, I don't know. I mean, tell me what you thought. I mean, did you think that Fusel was as the game wore on, that the hit started? As
the game wore on, like we said earlier about line play, Glenbard West's line play was a little bit better than Lincoln Way East's offensive line play. It looked like from the end zone, I parked my butt in the end zone, I don't know if you guys see me, but it looked like in the end zone, he would go back to pass, he would take a 1-2, and then he would start the dance thing, start doing the dance. Go this way, go that way, then he was met here, and smacked. I mean, once he got hit a couple times, man, if I got hit a couple times like that, I'd be a little indecisive too. I mean, boy, he got his bell rung.
He did. I mean, you know what, and once it got to be the big thing, I think the biggest play of the game was an extra point.
Yeah.
The biggest play of the game was the extra point because they missed that extra point, which is almost automatic for these guys. It's rare that they're going to miss an extra point. They missed the extra point. Now it's 10-6. It changes the entire makeup of the game, and it had everything to do with the way that game finished. Because
could have went for the field goal for the tie.
Right, Lincoln Way East gets down there. I mean, it was a great game. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of you got to see highlights of it. If you didn't, you can see it on our site and see it here. But Lincoln Way East has got the ball. They're driving. They've got an opportunity. They're well within field goal range. They're at like the 13-yard line. It's fourth down. They've got 4th and 9. I think they were facing. And Fusel's got to go for it. A field goal wasn't enough. If they kick a field goal, it's 10-9. So you got to go for it. And take a look at this play here, though. You want to talk about a hit? You want to talk about how nasty and vicious this game was? Yes. This is very indicative to the way it went the whole night for both teams and both defenses, by the way. But here, take a look. Here's one of the final plays of the game. This is a 4th and 9 play. Fusel, is looking to his left, has to roll out and take off to his right, sees the sticks, trying to get to that first down marker, and then he gets hit. Here, take a look. So you can see, dude, Fusel took a beating.
Yeah.
And that you thought, for a minute there, you thought, that's it. That's the end of the game. That's all she wrote. But Coach Volnar still had something up his sleeve. I mean, the fact is they turned the ball over inside the 5-yard line, or right at the 5-yard line. And so now Glenbard West has got to do something with the ball. And there's just under 2 minutes left in the game, and they've got to run plays. They don't get it. They didn't get the first down. Once again, Lincoln Way East defense rises to the occasion, stuffs them, and they call timeout. And then during that timeout, they come up with a good play. We had said we were both standing in the end zone. I go, they're going to take the safety.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did: is take the safety and kick the ball, which that brought them a little bit closer. So now it's a 10-8 ball game. You've got 23 seconds left on the clock. I think there was 27 seconds left on the clock. But when they kick the ball out of bounds, which is that's the dumbest thing you can do. Yeah. So now you got the ball at your 45-yard line, or at their 45-yard line. I mean, they had a shot. They've got to get themselves within field goal range, and you're thinking, hey, this game isn't over. But Fusel comes trotting back out on the field, and I'm talking about Tom Fusel comes trotting back out on the field, and honestly, dude, I don't think everything was still. I think his bell was still rung a little bit. You know, I mean, I don't know that he was, all together there, and he takes off. I mean, he takes the snap, and he takes a sack in a bad situation, taking a sack because he got no time to take a sack. You got to throw that ball away, take the penalty, do whatever, but you can't take a sack.
Yeah.
He did take the sack. He kind of did a little dipsy do, and that was all she wrote. I mean, here's the final play of the game for Lincoln Way East. Again, phenomenal performance, but take a look. This is the last stack against Tom Fusel. And that was all she wrote for Lincoln Way East. And, I'll tell you what. Lincoln Way East Griffiths blanked the Hilltoppers in the second half. Hilltoppers blanked the Griffiths in the first half. The difference was the extra point. And if you get that extra point, then I think that you're talking about a 10-10 game and forcing overtime. But I think the extra point was the linchpin in that game. And I got to say, too, I was a little surprised that Coach Volnar went for it as many times as he did on fourth down instead of punting the ball away and letting his defense out there. He was flirting with disaster a couple of times in that game. But, I said to him in the press conference upstairs, my question was, Coach, do you regret, going for it on fourth down? He's like, listen, we came down here to win, not to tie. And I got to respect that. I mean, here's the thing about that football team. It was great. It was a great game. There's no question about it. It was a great football game. It was the best, in my opinion, it was the best football game downstate this year. Yeah. It was the best game because it was a defensive struggle. I agree. It was the best game. But I got to say, to wrap up the season with Lincoln Way East is the one thing I'll tell everybody that's out there, I know I play a lot of games with teams and, the little banter back and forth. But Lincoln Way East is a class team. They're a class team. It says somewhere in the Bible, that if you believe in something, then let that come through. And Coach Zvolnar, in victory and in defeat, is the same guy. And you see that in them. You see the character in their players. You see the character in their coach. And I don't care who you are. You got to be a fan of Lincoln Way East. And I'll tell you right now, I'm a fan of Lincoln Way East. I'm a fan of Rob Zvolnar. I'm a fan of a lot of those kids that are out there. And they gave their all. And they got nothing to hang their head about at all. I mean, we could talk all the smack we want to talk. But the fact that and this is a show, we got to talk smack. It's what we do. But I'm going to tell you, I was really impressed with how they carried themselves all season long. I was impressed about how they handled their loss at the end of the season. I was impressed how they fought to the last second, literally the last second of the game. They were still fighting, and so congratulations. I mean, that's the heart of a champion. And in my opinion, you can only have one state champion, but there were two there because Glenbard West deserves it too. Glenbard West, they played a great game. Yeah. They played a phenomenal game, and as much as we talk about Lincoln Way East, Glenbard West was sensational. They did what they had to do. They took Fusel out of his game, and once they did that, it was lights out. Really was. Their defense did a great job.
I'll tell you, Lincoln Way East guys, you guys been to the playoffs every year since your existence. You guys will be back. You have a good sophomore class going to be juniors. Your juniors are good, going to be seniors. You guys will be back. You guys' theme this year will rebirth. How about this for you, Coach Zolnar? Next year will be redemption. Okay? Redemption.
Yes. And hey,
2 yards redemption. How about that?
All I know is that I still have the only championship jersey right here. Let me wear it. Oh, see, still there. Yeah, see, that's how rare that is. That's rarefied right there.
That's all right.
I mean, that's rarefied. I still got the Brook.
And you fed him. And you fed him too, right? You fed a guy like this.
So we still got the Brook. To talk about. We still got guys like Joliet Catholic to talk about.
Oh, Joliet Catholic.
Come on now.
Defense.
Yes, they need a defense, no question about it.
Yeah. Your offense is phenomenal. You got to work on your defense this year.
So maybe next year, maybe next year he'll get his shirt.
Nah, I don't need a shirt. I got enough shirts. I got enough shirts.
Yeah, you got enough shirts. So in any event,
Mount Carmel, huh?
Yep, Mount Carmel. Moving on to 8A, the 8A contest. Pretty phenomenal game for Mount Carmel.
Those Mount Carmel guys are big, huh?
Glenbard North was pretty big too. They first of all, think about this though. You got Glenbard West and Glenbard North in 7A and 8A. You got 2 district schools playing for a state championship.
Well, you almost had Lincoln Way West.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah, almost had Lincoln Way West.
They were almost there.
They were almost there. About as close as a horseshoe to the pit, but
they were almost there. Lincoln Way West Warrior guys, you'll be back too.
Yeah. So, but Mount Carmel fell behind early to Glenbard North 7-0, and then then the choo-choo train went on. They ended up winning 28-14 in that contest. There was a little bit of a scrap at the end of that game, or towards the end of that game.
Did we get it?
Got testy, yeah.
All right.
But it got a little testy at the end of that football game, but Mount Carmel walked away with another state championship. That's lent these. I don't know how many that makes for him. 8, 9,
400.
Yeah, I mean something like that. He's got 330 something wins or 320 something wins now. So he's up there. Had a great, fantastic season, 28-14, and I know he listens to us because I think he thinks we're kind of like sarcastic or too sarcastic. But
are we sarcastic? He's the sarcastic one, Coach. I'm not.
Okay, well,
he's
whatever.
the sarcastic one.
Whatever.
He's the mean one. I'm the nice one. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. Well, all I can say is that Bolingbrook beat you guys. They did.
But you guys won the public league that year. So.
Yes, but I'm just telling you.
There you go.
Bolingbrook beat them. Aaron Bailey and company beat them.
Oh, get off of Aaron Bailey, okay?
Hey, Aaron Bailey's going to be everything next year.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, Aaron Bailey, I'm sure you're still listening out there. I can't wait to buy your jersey. Yeah. I don't own a single. Ask Coach Tom, I'm a Michigan fan, by the way.
Yeah, Nebraska, Michigan, yeah.
I don't own a single jersey for Illinois, but as soon as he gets his number assigned and it's public, I'm going to go out there and I'm buying that jersey. I'm telling you what, Aaron Bailey's going to be in the NFL. Barring any injuries, he's going to be in the NFL.
Do you need a sports agent? Here you go.
Come on.
You need a sports agent?
Yeah. So, it was a fantastic, honestly, it was a fantastic season of football. A lot of great schools. A lot of great, especially playoff football. The area did really well. We had a lot of teams that got to play in there. And, hopefully next year you're going to see, correct me if I'm wrong, but is there another Fusel?
Yeah, there's another Fusel.
Is it Brett Fusel?
Brett Fusel.
Brett Fusel, yeah. I think he was
there's another one quarterback.
Yeah, I think number 19.
Somewhere like that. 14 maybe?
No, I think he was 9. I think he was 19. I don't know.
Another Fusel.
It was confusing to me though, but there's another Fusel out there, and so I guess we'll be following that Fusel next year. And isn't Winkler a junior too?
Yeah,
maybe a senior next year.
Another Winkler.
So it's kind of like a family thing over there in Frankfurt.
Family. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, except for you.
Yeah. I'm the son.
Yeah.
Right.
Son of but you're there.
Yeah.
Hey, you're in the ballpark.
That's
but,
all right.
Listen.
I'm going to DuPage Valley League next year. So if you need me, that'll be my tour, my top stomping ground.
I'll tell you what, we're going to be covering. Honestly, we're going to be covering football all year. So even though the state championships ended, we're going to be covering a lot of basketball and wrestling and different sporting events that come up. We got a lot to talk about. We just didn't want to jump into that until we were wrapping up football season.
He can do the basketball and wrestling. I'm sure there's a debate team out there that needs some coverage. Okay?
Yeah.
Right. Bowling. State bowling championship. Okay. Romeoville, I heard they're a good bowling team. Very good bowling team.
Plainfield Central's pretty good.
You might see me out there with the camera over there on lane. You guys are on lane 2. I'll be on lane 5. Going like this. No, don't worry about it. It's not a stalker or nothing. It's just me.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, I do want to spend some time, again, I want to congratulate everybody from the football season, all the coaches that got to play, the ones that didn't win many ball games and the ones that won them all. It's been fantastic. It's been a great season.
Oh, yes, it has. A lot of fun. All kidding aside, a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, and I don't know that there's any, honestly, I don't think there's another sport out there that gathers that much momentum. I mean, you've got the cheerleaders, you've got the poms, you've got the bands, you've got the fans, you've got moms, dads, and you've got people that don't even have kids in the program that are following these teams. You got guys like us who are covering these teams, and pick it up. I mean, it's a pageantry. In high school football in the state of Illinois, it's a pageantry. IHSA does it really well. And I got to tell you, I mean, they're fantastic. They're very easy to work with, very accommodating to the press. It's a small world, too. I mean, the press is the core of the press pool is really small. And congratulations to all those who are out there doing what we do every week in the paper. They meet their deadlines, and we do our deadlines, and it's all well and good. But we make a lot of friends. It's a small world, and we want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
Looking forward next year to be a little bit different. We're not going down to Champaign.
Going down to DeKalb.
Is it down or up?
Up, down, whatever.
Up, down, whatever.
A lot of good stories we could tell you about DeKalb.
Yep. Well, hey, you know what? And I think Tom Fusel's going to be up there.
There you go.
So you might still be able to get, a jersey up there, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, we got some other guys up there. Cameron Stingley. Cameron, I know you're out there listening too, and thanks for watching us every week and still supporting the Cheap Seats and Rooster and Big Tone. Hey, he does. I mean, he Facebooks us, and he's having a fantastic season in Northern Illinois.
I think I need a Facebook page. Okay, what do you think?
Yeah, you gotta have a Facebook page.
I gotta have a Facebook page, and then they'll know me. They'll know, hey, Rooster, and hey, I know you. I know you. You're that guy on a show with the Rooster. Yeah. Okay, so like I said, I am his Jilly to Sinatra. I am his snowman to the bandit. Okay, if that's how it's got to be, if I got to carry his popcorn, that's fine.
Well, I can tell you this. Next football season, we are going to expand our coverage area. We are going to pick up a lot more games out in Morris. I want to see what's going on out there. I want to see Washington play. I'd like to see Canelan play a little bit, too. So I want to delve into that conference. Lincoln Way West. Look out, everybody. Lincoln Way West is on their way up, and they're not going away. They're going to be a tough team to contend with in that 5A conference. And Montini, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coach said he's going to go for the thumb.
One for the thumb, huh?
One for the thumb. I mean, 5, pretty spectacular.
That's pretty impressive. If he can get back up there, more power to him. God bless,
And summer football camp's right around the corner. I mean, it seems like it's a long way off. It's not, man. 6 months is what it took to go from summer camp to now, and it takes you've got that amount of time between now and summer camp to get yourself bigger, stronger, faster, smarter, and probably not in that order. Probably smarter, number one. And bigger and stronger and faster, follow.
I tell you, there's a lot of, like, say, Bennett, for instance, one in whatever team that leader
1 and 8 to a semifinal game.
A semifinal game, and one game before going to state. I mean, it can be done. It can be done if you put in the dedication, you put in the time. It can be done.
Well, we got a lot of work to do still, Coach Stone. We have to figure out over the next week, who our defensive player of the year is going to be, our offensive player of the year is going to be, our coach of the year is going to be. We got a lot of thinking to do this week, and look through, pour through, tons and tons and tons of stats. But I'm sure you got a few people in mind, and for those positions, and we're gonna. I thought we'd just pick one, but you know what? That wouldn't be us. We wouldn't be bitching enough. We wouldn't be complaining enough if we just picked one. So we're not going to just pick one.
Yeah, I mean,
you pick yours and I'll pick mine.
How many times do you give a trophy to Ty Isaac? Okay, come on.
Yeah, well, Ty Isaac is fantastic.
Ty Isaac, another Ty Isaac. Press agent for Baron Bailey. Ty Isaac. There you go. You make $1 million.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, Danny Friend looked pretty good too, man.
Yeah.
I gotta give. Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah, he is.
Danny, you're a big guy, man. You're a big dude. And he was pretty nimble for a big guy.
So was Mr. Perry. He's a big guy, too.
Yeah, he's a big guy, too.
I'm interviewing him looking like this, and I'm 6'3". I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Don't hurt me. We'll cover you.
We'll figure out. I mean, you got to figure out who your top 3 guys are, your coach of the year, and I'll figure out who my coach of the year is, and we'll make sure that we get real nice, shiny trophies for him. And I think mine's going to be shaped like a rooster. What do you think?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Rooster, rooster, everybody loves the rooster. Hey, rooster! Hey, rooster! Hey, rooster!
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, listen, it's been an absolute blast. We'll catch you next week on Cheap Seats. We got some basketball to cover. We got some wrestling coming out this week. Your kid's a wrestler too, ain't he?
He sure is there. My young son, Tony, he's a wrestler. Pretty good one, too.
Pretty good one. Absolutely. Pretty good one. So we got a lot to cover, and you get to see Langendorfer a little bit more, too.
Langendorfer, the Stag Tournament, Lincoln Way East is coming. That's what my son said. Hey, you know something? Lincoln Way East is going to be at our tournament in Stag. Guess where I'm going to be? I'm going to be at the tournament in Stag. Wrestling.
That's it. So, hey, man, we want to thank you for joining us as always, and thank you for a great football season. It isn't over yet. You know, for you juniors, your sophomores, your underclassmen, and even coaches, take one sip, enjoy the day, and then tomorrow get right back after it, because that's how long it takes to put together a championship football team. We got to see some good ones this year.
You're darn skippy there, my young friend, Rooster. A lot of good football there, a lot of fun, a lot of intrigues, a lot of excitement, and just plain old good-fashioned fun.
And I have to polish off Magic 8 Ball for next season.
Yeah, it'll be right to the last game of the season with a championship. Yeah. Am I going to win $1 million? Will you sign my 8 ball? Will you sign my 8 ball? Here.
All right, man. Hey, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next week right here on Cheap Seats.
Cheap Seats next week. Everybody out there, stay safe and have a great week.
It's been a production of SouthwestSportsNest.com, home of the playmakers and game changers. Remember, do your best. Get on the nest.